Last episode, we discovered that God is pouring. In episode 1, we learned that the way to receive what God is releasing is to come before Him empty and hungry. In episode 2, we uncovered the two silent leaks that drain the anointing, worldliness and disobedience, and we learned how to seal them. But today, we're talking about something just as important: the church. Not to criticize it, not to tear it down, not to point fingers, but to ask one honest question. Is the church doing what God actually built it to do? Because many believers are spiritually hungry. They feel empty, directionless, unequipped. Not because God has failed them, but because the vessel God designed to carry them has forgotten its purpose. The church was never meant to be a weekly performance. It was never meant to be a social club with worship music. It was never meant to exist simply to make people comfortable. It was built for 10 specific responsibilities, and today we're walking through every one of them. This is episode 3 of the Open Vessel series. Stay with me. Before we look at the 10 duties, we need to understand why this matters. Your anointing was never designed to be carried alone. God fills individuals, but He places them into a body. The vessel He fills needs community. It needs accountability. It needs the strength that comes from being connected to other believers. An anointed believer without the church is like a burning coal removed from the fire. It may glow for a while, but eventually, without the other coals around it, the fire begins to fade. The church is not optional. It is essential, but only when it functions the way God intended. Because when the church fulfills its assignment, believers stay filled, they stay equipped, they stay connected, and they become powerful for God's kingdom. But when the church neglects its responsibilities, people begin to drift. They lose their fire. They lose direction. And many don't understand why. So let's look at the 10 duties God gave His church. The first duty is to teach the ways of Christ. Teaching is the foundation. The church was never called to entertain people. It was called to teach them how to follow Jesus. Teaching produces believers who know who they are, who understand what God has placed inside them, and who know how to walk with Him every day. The second duty is to guide people through everyday life. God's wisdom was never meant to stay inside the church building. It should shape your finances, your relationships, your purpose, your career. The church should help believers apply God's truth from Monday through Saturday, not just on Sunday. The third duty is to support people in difficult seasons. Life is not always easy. People carry burdens. They experience pain, loss, fear. The church should be the safest place to run when life becomes heavy, not a place of judgment, but a place of love, encouragement, and restoration. The fourth duty is to equip believers for ministry. Every believer carries a gift. Every believer has an assignment. The church exists to discover those gifts, develop them, and release people into God's purpose. The church is not the destination, it is the training ground. The fifth duty is to provide a place of genuine worship. Not performance, not entertainment, but an atmosphere where people encounter God's presence, where faith grows, prayer becomes real, and the vessel is continually filled. Before we continue, make sure you subscribe. This series is building one episode at a time, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Now let's continue. The sixth duty is to preach the gospel. The gospel that convicts. The gospel that transforms lives. When a church stops preaching the truth, it stops producing transformed people. The seventh duty is to reach the lost. The gospel was never meant to stay inside four walls. The church exists to go into the world, to bring hope to those who have never encountered Jesus, to carry the anointing beyond the building. The eighth duty is to create genuine community. The early church didn't just attend meetings. They shared life together. They prayed together. They encouraged one another. Real connection is not optional. It is part of God's design. The ninth duty is to intercede for nations. The church carries a global assignment through prayer. It prays for leaders, for communities, for nations. Because prayer changes what nothing else can. And finally, the 10th duty is to be a light to the world.
The church should never blend into darkness. It should shine with truth, love, service, and hope. When all 10 duties are working together, believers remain strong. Teaching gives them understanding. Guidance shapes their daily lives. Support carries them through hardship. Equipping prepares them for ministry. Worship keeps them filled. The gospel transforms hearts. Evangelism reaches the lost. Community strengthens relationships. Prayer changes spiritual atmospheres. And the light of Christ impacts the world. This is the environment God designed for His people. Not a perfect church, but a faithful one. A church that embraces its assignment. And here's our responsibility. Find a church that is committed to these things. Serve in it. Pray for it. Support it. Because your anointing was never meant to grow in isolation, the church was God's idea. It exists to produce believers who are filled, equipped, connected, and overflowing. So today, don't just evaluate your church. Ask God how you can help it fulfill its purpose. Because the church doesn't simply need members, it needs people who understand the assignment. If this message opened your eyes, comment, "Built for this." Share this episode with your pastor, your church leaders, and your small group. And get ready for episode 4, because next time we're talking about something that will challenge every believer. Not everyone who follows is truly following. There are 7 kinds of followers, but only one kind that God can fully use. Which one are you? See you in episode 4.